Then you go back to India.
Do you want me to go back to India?
I do want you to go back to India, yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you're not allowed to, well, you are allowed to be here, but that's the problem. You shouldn't be here.
Yeah, I'll go back, yeah.
A stranger walk up to you with a camera says, why don't you go back to India? Not because you've broken the law, not because you have committed a crime, not because you do anything wrong. Simple because of the color of your skin and where were you born.
What are you doing here? Huh? Well, okay, yeah, I mean, what are you doing in the United Kingdom? What do you work as? Huh? Nurse?
Yeah.
What's that?
I'm a nurse.
Oh, you're a nurse?
I'm taking video.
Huh?
I'm taking video.
Yeah, mate, yeah. I'm in public, so I can film wherever I want.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm just walking, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, like, what are you doing in the UK?
I work here.
Yeah, what's wrong with India?
What's wrong with India?
Yeah.
There is no wrong.
So why don't you go back to India?
Do you want me to go back to India?
I do want you to go back to India, yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you're not allowed to, well, you are allowed to be here, but that's the problem. You shouldn't be here.
Yeah, I'll go back,
You know,
yeah.
I'm very much India for the Indians as well as English for the English, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't just about one Indian nurse. It's about where this conversation is headed in Britain. The climate we're currently in. Today we're going to break down this argument made in this video one by one, separate fact from opinion, and ask the important question: when does concern about immigration becomes hostility towards people who are legally here and contributing to society? Because they say, let's start with the obvious. The nurse is working legally in the UK. He says himself he's a nurse. This means that he has gone through visa requirements, professional registration, employment checks. He isn't hiding. He isn't crossing the channel illegally. He isn't claiming benefit while refusing to work. And he's literally doing one of the jobs Britain has struggled to recruit enough people for decades.
So, do you ever intend on going back?
Yeah.
Yeah? When?
Can't say exactly. Go back maybe.
What, next year?
Not next year.
This year? Tomorrow? No?
No. Sorry, you can't take video without
I can take video. It's completely legal. Completely legal. You can Google it if you want.
Okay, that's fine, yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Just so you can film me if you want. Like, it's fine.
It's fine, I don't want to take it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think you should go back to India, though.
Yeah, I'll go back definitely, you know. I don't want to stay here, you know.
Yeah. Can you not be a nurse in India?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm helping you. I'm helping the United Nations.
Not really.
Not really?
Not really, no.
Oh.
It's not helping us to have Indians inside the UK because these are white lands and the white people are breeding, they're being bred out.
Yes,
The white population's dying. Do you understand that? Do you know the population of white people in the world?
have you been to the hospital anytime?
Yes. Yeah. I go to the hospital, yeah.
You know, there are a lot of nurses. We are helping.
There are, but do you know there's also thousands of white British people that go to medical school and they get denied because the government prefers foreign nurses. Do you understand how that's a problem here? So there's British people that go through medical school the same way you probably have, and they get denied because there's people like you who come here and take the jobs instead.
Okay, cool. Okay. See.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay then.
So do you understand how it's a problem that you're here?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, we'll go back. You know, we don't want to stay here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, go back soon, yeah?
So whether someone support lower immigration or higher immigration, there's a big difference between criticizing government policy and confronting individual workers in the street. Government make immigration policy, nurses don't. You say this is probably the biggest claim in the video. Is there any truth to it? About foreign nurses taking British job? But the answer is it's more complicated than the cameraman make it sound. The NHS has faced staffing shortages for years. Ever since I've been in this country, this is like over 18 years ago. And it's always been the case. Even today, there's around 100,000 vacant NHS posts across England. And despite effort to recruit more staff, the NHS has relied heavily on international recruitment because demand has grown faster than the domestic workforce. The government itself recognizes that relying heavily on overseas staff isn't a long-term solution, which is why it has been expanding UK medical school places and nursing training. So yes, Britain should absolutely train more British doctors and nurses. Because I'm agree with that. Because you need British people to look after British people. Simple as that. I'm agree with that. But most people, including immigrants, would agree with that. But that's different from saying every foreign nurse is stealing someone else's job. Because there have been genuine debates about competition for postgraduate medical training, and their UK trained graduates should receive greater priority. And in fact, recent government changes has done exactly that by giving greater priority to UK trained doctors for specialty training posts. That tell us something important. This is a policy issue, not an individual nurse issue. And the fact that there's not enough people going for medical jobs, medical education. So that's why the government have to recruit from elsewhere in the world, from whether the Caribbean, Africa, or in India. Because I even remember the same type of argument a while back with the Polish workers in the construction field, where they're saying that the Polish taking the jobs, but the fact that the English not doing the jobs, so they're complaining that they're taking the jobs, but they're not willing to do the jobs. The same thing here. They're complaining that there's too many the Indians are taking the jobs, but they're not training to do the job. So obviously you need the nurses and doctors are specialty jobs, so you need to have training. So you go to school and get proper training if you want to eradicate that problem. So blaming one nurse walking home doesn't fix the medical school capacity. It does not create more training places. It does not improve NHS retention. So those decisions are made by the government, not on the pavement. You see, if you have been in a hospital, you've seen lots of Indian doctors and nurses. The nurse respond with something many viewers will recognize. He says, "Have you been to the hospital?" Most people in Britain have noticed how international the NHS workforce is. And that's not an accident. The NHS has recruited internationally for decades. I remember from I was a little boy, the nurses in Jamaica has always been coming over here because there has always been a shortage of nurses in the UK from even before I came here. And that was, as I said, almost 20 years ago. So according to the House of Commons library, around 42% of licensed doctors in the UK qualified overseas, and about 24% of nurses and nurses associates on the professional register trained abroad. So that's a reflection of the workforce shortages, not proof that that British people are incapable of doing the job. There's just too much jobs available and not enough people to fill it. And this is where the conversation stopped being about immigration for me. So his claim comes from what often called the Great Replacement theory, the idea that white population are deliberately being replaced by immigrants. There's no credible evidence that government are secretly replacing white population. Demographic change happens for many reasons, you see. Birth rates, aging population, economic migration, education, housing costs, and changing family sizes. people can have legitimate concern about immigration levels, you say. But claiming there is a deliberate racial replacement conspiracy going on for beyond mainstream immigration policy debates. Okay, probably it's bigger than me, I don't know. But I can understand that frustration on them as well, because for the last 10 years or so, it seems to be more than ever before, to be honest. Compares to like the previous 10 years. You go to certain areas and you see just so many brown people that you never seen before. So I can understand the frustration, even though it's not really affecting me that much. But if I was, for example, if I lived in Jamaica all my life, and within a 10-year period, I just bear different type of people that is not Jamaican just in my community, I would feel away. So I understand that frustration. Obviously, strain on the resources, strain on the and everything. But attacking a hardworking person in the street like that is not called for. Attacking anyone, you need to check the government more than checking people. That's how I say. Something that stood out to me though, what struck me the most wasn't even the cameraman. It was the nurse. So throughout the conversation, he stayed calm. He probably was a bit scared, to be honest. Because, you know, if he probably react in an aggressive way, you know, he probably would get hit or violence against him or something. He smiled. He avoided the confrontation. He even agreed with the man several times. And to me, he didn't look like agreement. He didn't look like he's agreeing just to agree's sake. He looked like someone trying to get home safe. As simple as that. Sometimes people don't argue because they are convinced. Sometimes they don't argue because they are trying to avoid making the situation worse. Simple as that. Because it could happen to me. It could happen to my daughter. It could happen to my brother. It could happen to anyone. You get me? That is not why. You could be walking home, could be even born here, walking home, and people just look at you and judge you. And that's the problem. And that's where I think the current climate is at. And it's scary, very scary, man. But here's a bigger issue though. Britain has every right to debate immigration, you say. As I said, I kinda understand where the everyday white man is coming from. Because I see it myself. You get what I mean? I see it myself. But healthy democracy should debate immigration. Simple. You have a debate, and this is, as I said, this is bigger than the normal man. This is something that has been done in the government. So do your debate and show your thing with the election or something. You get what I mean? This is a democracy country. So you can vote, put your voice in, but no, don't attack people on the street because you don't want that war to start. But should British workers receive greater investment? Of course they should. Because I feel, as I said, I feel the pain in a sense. Because those are legitimate political questions. But if the conversation changes from we need different migration policy to you don't belong here because you're not white, oh my gosh, that's no longer a policy debate. That's judging someone by their color rather than their actions. But here's where I stand. Britain should invest more in training British doctors and nurses. Because I'm a strong believer for British people should look after British people when it comes to health and stuff. Because that's just common sense. You want your own to look after you. When you're at your worst, that's what you need. You get what I mean? It should reduce unnecessary. It shouldn't have these debates in the street and attacking people. and the government should reduce unnecessary dependence on overseas recruitment over time. I know it's easier said than done, but until that happens, the NHS still need people willing to care for the patient. And if someone is here legally, working, paying taxes, looking after sick people, they deserve to be treated with basic dignity. Criticize the politician, challenge the immigration policy, debate the numbers, but don't mistake the nurse for the policymaker. Because when you are lying in an hospital bed struggling to breathe, the first question most people ask isn't where you're from. It is, can you help me? What do I need to do to survive? If you enjoy this discussion, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the conversation below in the comments. Do you think British should reduce immigration while still respecting legal immigrants who contribute to society? Let me hear your thoughts, please, people.